and welcome to NHK Newsline. I'm Keiko Kitagawa in Tokyo. We start with the North Korean nuclear crisis. The leaders of Japan and South Korea have reaffirmed that they will apply more pressure on the North following its latest nuclear test. The Japanese Prime Minister met with South Korea's president on the sidelines of an economic summit in Russia. Both favor tougher economic sanctions against the North.
Repeated provocations by North Korea have become a serious and grave threat reaching an unprecedented level.
Under the current situation, South Korea and Japan desperately need to cooperate even more closely than before.
Pyongyang claims Sunday's test was a hydrogen bomb that could fit on top of a long-range missile. It was the country's sixth and largest nuclear test. Abe will also meet with Russia's president later in the day. He's expected to ask Vladimir Putin for cooperation in supporting stronger sanctions. Putin has said he opposes sanctions and that they would be meaningless. He's instead calling for dialogue. South Korea says the deployment of a state-of-the-art U.S. missile defense system known as THAAD is now complete, at least for the time being. On Thursday morning, the 4 remaining rocket launchers were installed. President Moon was initially cautious about the deployment, but changed his mind after North Korea's recent missile launches.
The government has completed the tentative deployment. It's part of a plan to protect the lives and safety of the public from rising threats from North Korea.
China and Russia oppose the deployment, citing security issues. China says the system's powerful radar could be used to monitor its military. South Korea says it's aware of the need to resolve their concerns and is considering holding consultations with them. The South Korean government says it will decide whether or not the deployment will be made permanent after conducting further environmental surveys. While neighboring countries are on high alert, North Korea is celebrating and continuing threats against the United States. Thursday's edition of the ruling party's newspaper carried an article on the festivities in Pyongyang. The paper reports on Premier Park Bong-gyu praising the test as an accomplishment of Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un. Park is quoted as saying his country now has a powerful and sacred nuclear sword. He warns the U.S. to make a wise choice by withdrawing itself from problems on the Korean peninsula. The report also shows scientists involved in the latest nuclear test receiving a hero's welcome in the capital. This is all in advance of celebrations on Saturday for North Korea's Foundation Day. The country has used key anniversaries like that to carry out missile and nuclear tests.